We are working on the bit by bit project from the YByte Python curriculum available at www.ybyte.in. In the last video, we looked at the activity we are building with the LEDs. Now it's time to get started. Remember, we are going to follow a three-step process. The first step, which is what I'll do in this video, is to just set up the infrastructure, use ideas like what we have done in pixel art to kind of create, let's say, an array of LEDs. So for that purpose, I have imported turtle. I've created, let's say, a turtle object, and I've defined a function which draws me a square at, say, some x and y location. Now, this is something we have done many times before. The way this function works is quite standard. I go to an xy, I set the heading to say 0, and then I just, do, let's say, 4 turns, 90-degree turns, and this I will end up with a square of 20, 20, 20 on each side because I'm using 20 as a side, and of course I use color to fill this. So this is something, of course, we have seen before. I won't get too deep into this, but we will make use of this almost like we were doing in pixel art by saying that, look, I want to put together an 8-bit pattern. So I just go and say for KK, let's say in range 8. Now again 8 because my LED pattern is 8 bits. Of course, you can do it differently. I want to, place these squares in a way that they appear to be on a single row. So I just tell my turtle to go to t dot go to, let's say 100 minus 40 times kk. Now this may look a little bit strange, but this is basically saying that, look, as kk increases, I want the turtle to go from right to left. So, if kk is 0, turtle will be at 100. If kk is 1, as it happens through the loop, turtle will be at 60, 40, 20, and so on and so forth. So kind of right to left. That's because my lowest bit I want to put on the right side. And that's what kk is going to represent, right? So kk is basically the bit index. So I just go there and I write, for example, over here, t dot write, let's say b and plus say str. So convert the kk to a string and I put this here. Now I'm going to just draw a square. For now, we'll keep it all white squares because let's assume nothing is on. So I just go and say, I just call my function draw a square at, let's say, 100 minus 40 times kk. I'll set the y value to 0, and let's just say I will set the color to white, right? So that it kind of appears that it's, I mean, the LED is, let's say, off, right? When I do this, when I run this piece of code, I notice that my 7 LEDs are drawn as I had expected. You can see them, but we saw that it took a long while for the LEDs to be drawn. Now we know that the way to speed this up is using the tracer function. So I just go and do that here. I say ts is say turtle or screen tracer 0, and then I can do ts dot say update over here, right? And if I were to run this piece of code now, let's say close this and I run this now. Notice it looks like all the LEDs appear together. You don't see the animation anymore, and this will be useful. We'll make use of this as we go forward, right? So this is the sort of the basic infrastructure. Obviously, this is just one of the many ways to place these LEDs. You could have placed them, for example, in a circle, or say vertically, or you might put more LEDs if you want to make it more interesting. Let's say you can make an entire serpentine pattern of LEDs using these ideas, right? So lots of possibilities exist, but this is just a starting point, and we will build forward from here. Building activities, applying concepts to projects is where we really learn programming, and that is how we teach programming at YByte. Look at our website www.ybyte.in because we have many, many, many activities through which we learn Python programming. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye bye.